The temptation now is to see the job as almost done. The temptation now is to regard the second leg of Australia's World Cup qualifier against Honduras as almost a formality after the Socceroos secured a 2-2 draw in San Pedro Sula. After all, the stars seem to be aligning. The Socceroos dominated their away leg against the Central Americans, controlled the game, spurned several good chances and should really be coming back to Sydney at least 1, and probably 2, goals to the good. With any luck at all, an automatic place at the finals next year in Russia would be all but sealed. Australia, thanks to greater financial strength, can afford to charter a plane and will fly directly to Australia after a brief stopover in Hawaii. Ange Postecoglou and his team will arrive Sydney some 24 hours before the Hondurans, who must now undertake a grueling journey via Los Angeles on scheduled airlines, with some players traveling in economy class. But succumbing to temptation, no matter how alluring that may be, could be fateful. At best, it is disrespectful to opponents who have little to lose and everything to gain. At worst, it would be hubris of the sort that ill befits any team when the scores are still level, even if they look to have all the advantages on their side. 20 years ago Australia looked to have done a similar job, when they travelled to Tehran and returned from the Iranian capital with a 0-1 draw thanks to a precious Harry Kewell away goal. It looked like a lay-down misère for Terry Venables' team, especially when they went 2-0 Unit P in the second leg. Nobody foresaw the tenacious Iranians battling back and scoring twice in the last 15 minutes to draw 2-2 and progress to France in 1998 on the away goals rule. These days, Australia are smarter, wiser, and better prepared than 20 years ago, even if they had the cream of the golden generation who were about to reach their prime as players. And this Honduran team, on the evidence of the 90 minutes of the first leg, is nowhere near the quality of the Iranian side that Australia faced on that day at the MCG. They looked, in fact, very poor for a team that had reached this far in the World Cup qualifying race. It beggars belief, on that performance, that a nation like the US, with all their money, resources and players, finished behind them in the qualifying group. Still, judging them only on the evidence of Saturday morning's game might be a mistake. After all, they had only lost once at home during the Central American qualifying competition and had beaten good teams like Mexico along the way. But if that effort against Australia was the best they can muster, then the Socceroos, while not quite starting at Wicks-type odds, will be very short-priced favourites to make it to a World Cup for the fourth time in succession. Honduras, who might now be known as the Cabbage Patch Kids of the World Game thanks to the cow paddock of a pitch they served up, offered little going forward and posed few threats. If teams prepare pitches and playing surfaces to benefit them and discomfort opponents, it certainly did work this time. The Socceroos have had to get used to playing on poor surfaces and in inhospitably warm environments in Asia over the past dozen or more years, and all that experience showed through as they took control of the game.